Volume 3, Number 1, The Future of the Smithton Family. Grace envisions a future at her desk. While it's clear that Grace looks upon the future of her family and a future broadcast, she decides that yes, she's going to go forward. With her baby resting easily and the kids are at school, she clears her desk. What is the future for her family? As it's closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas, she does decide that this is the future. Should she go on to be a radio host or do something with therapy? Maybe like a therapy radio show. She knows Planet Radio was such a success that she wants to continue with Planet Radio. She wants her kids to be involved. She does decide that family therapy is the way she wants to go with her future. She just loves the idea of what the future holds. As Michael comes in to an empty desk and empty chair, he wonders where Grace is. Grace, where are you? I'm over here on the couch. I'm resting with the baby. As the baby is almost 2.5 months old at this point. It's near Thanksgiving, and they know that it's time to prepare to go shopping. Should we go shopping for Thanksgiving? Yeah, we probably should. Just then, Mom and Dad brought in all the Thanksgiving trimmings. Oh, you don't even have to worry. We already did the Thanksgiving shopping for you, as they were ready to unpack the car. Oh, thank you, Mom and Dad. That is a great idea, as Thanksgiving was just a couple days away. We still have the Christmas party, too. Oh, boy. We're going to have a lot ahead of us, as the baby was resting still. Grace was relaxing. So what's on your mind, Grace? As Mom and Dad were unpacking the car full of groceries for Thanksgiving. As you know, Grandma was going to make Thanksgiving dinner. It just was assumed that that was the plan. Michael said, Grace, I know there's something up your sleeve. What's going on? I'm just thinking as I cleared the desk and have that empty chair, what's up my agenda? Should I do the Planet Radio as a formal radio production? I mean, I should use my radio skills and do family therapy or family radio. I think it's looking like Planet Radio might be the new format for my agenda. Really? Do you want to do this as a career? Well, I already have the undergraduate degree in radio broadcasting. And with my family therapy aspects of what I do as a career, I can do this as a form of family therapy. I could do a talk show. Well, you can't do Planet Radio. I understand. I wouldn't do it that way. That's our work. That's our family project. But I'm thinking about going into therapy and doing a family talk show. That sounds like a great idea. You should really consider that, said Michael. Well, Grace said, it's something to consider. I want to change my career course and maybe go into talk radio. Well, think about it. Put it on the back burner, said Michael. But for now, don't worry about it. It's something to consider. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with making a career change right now. I'm not sure, but I need to think of something by the first of the year before I go back to work. Are you going back to work after the first of the year? Well, I'm going to probably be casual pool. Just then, Miss Jackson calls. Hello, Michael. Hello, Grace, said Miss Jackson. How's everything going? Well, everything's going good. The kids are home for Christmas or Thanksgiving break, that is. Oh, they're home? Yeah. That's great. It's good to have a break. I know, Miss Jackson. The reason I called is I want to ask you a question, and you have time to think about it. But we wanted to request you to go on a speaking tour to talk about your experiences as an adopted family since you're one of our success stories. Really? Said Grace. And she lit up like a light bulb. Wow. Michael loved the idea. How long would the speaking tour be? Well, it's just in this region. You would be going to local churches, local adoption agencies, and you would be speaking in behalf of your family. Well, what would we talk about? You would talk about your experiences of adoption and how you have shared your memories and experiences. And Miss Yokoshodo would be there, and you would just share just your experiences. You can come as a family. Wow, said Grace, this is exactly what I want to do. You can share about Planet Radio, how you do projects together. It would be a family experience, the one thing that you can do, and it's a paid speech. A paid speech? Yeah, Grace, this would be right up your alley, said Michael. Yeah, you get paid for these speeches. A lot of organizations want you to speak on pro life issues, too. This is exactly this is exactly what I was contemplating earlier. I was just talking to Michael about this. What did I want to do with my future? Yeah, Grace, we're going to say yes to this, said Michael. Grace, are you okay with this? Yes, absolutely. This is exactly what I was thinking about earlier, is like what I wanted to do. So when do we start? Well, I was thinking out around Christmas time because this is the time of year that we get donations and support for the adoption agencies, and we need help from nonprofits, and nonprofits need help, and it's kind of works that way, especially at, as it's a time of giving. So right after Thanksgiving, yeah, we'll give you the schedule of events where you be speaking at. We'll get you the transportation back and forth to the locations, and we'll reimburse you for the gas to the locations back and forth. You'll be part of the Family Resource Center, and we'll make sure that you get all the necessities you need for hotels and expenses if you need to stay overnight or whichever for the children. Miss Yokushodo. Can my mother and father come? Said Michael. Oh, sure, definitely. This sounds great. I, when when is the first event? It's right after Thanksgiving. It's actually that Friday after Thanksgiving. So the 26th. Yeah. Is that too soon? No, that's not too soon. I don't think we have anything planned. It's Black Friday, of course. Okay, so there might be some traffic, but it's close and it's local, so it's right here in the area. So we'll give you the address and information. We'll send it through email, and you'll have the address and information, the location. All you do is just prepare a speech, and we'll review it before the speech, and we'll give you the okay, and you'll just go before the organization that you're going to speak in front of, and it's all ready to go. Miss Jackson, we can't thank you enough for thinking of us. Well, you're helping the organizations that are looking for donations. It's very important that we get this started. It's all through Christmas and into the new year, so it'll help everybody. You'll especially be helping yourselves mostly. It'll help the kids, it'll help everybody. It's definitely important to get that message out, said Miss Jackson. Oh, this is excellent. I am so impressed with this idea, said Michael. Grace agreed. Grace was beaming at this idea. Well, thank you so much, Miss Jackson, said Michael, and Grace agreed. Thank you so much. I am so happy at this, said Grace. Okay, sounds like a date. November 26th, Friday after the holiday. Okay, got a plan together. We'll see you then. All right, talk to you later. Thank you, Miss Jackson. All right, so after that long conversation, Michael and Grace just hugged. This is exactly what I was thinking about, something that would motivate us. Well, Grace, you never know where this is going to lead to. This might be what you were looking for. Yes, it's exactly what I was thinking of. Something that we could do, a speaking tour. We need to branch out. That's right. I agree. Something we can do as a family, too. This is so awesome, said Michael. I can't disagree with you anymore. You never disagree with me, said Michael. Rarely have we had disagreements. We've always come to terms with things. So, what are we going to speak about? That we're going to have to write out. Grace, you're a good writer. So are you, Michael. You're a good speaker. Who's going to speak first? Well, I think you should speak first, Michael, said Grace. Maybe you should be the one to introduce the topic and then I can jump in. Okay, I can do that. I can introduce the discussion and then you can jump in. Should we have the kids? No, 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 no. Let's just keep it the way we'll just keep it real simple. Since I'm good at speaking at this conferences and everything, I'll just do the general speaking event and then you can just jump in from there. Okay, I'll get my notes together and I'll start typing away at your desk. Okay, sounds great. As they wind down, it's later in the evening. The kids are already in bed, thank God. They needed to get the baby into bed as Grace was still breastfeeding. Michael was writing into the night. Michael, it's getting late. It's time for bed. It's almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, I want you to proofread what I wrote for the speech. Well, as the kids are sound asleep, he heard a whimper. It's Melissa coming downstairs. Mommy, Mommy, yes. I want to stay up with you and the baby. Okay, Melissa, come on in. All right, Melissa's up. Okay, come over here, Melissa. As Melissa was laying beside Grace's leg, she falls right to sleep. Okay, Michael, so go ahead and proofread it while Melissa's sleeping. Okay, so it starts out as, hi, my name is Michael. My wife is Grace Smithton, and I too am Mr. Well, scratch that. Start over, Michael. My name is Michael Smithton. My wife is named Grace, and we adopted two beautiful children who are part Japanese and part Caucasian. Their grandmother is Zaya's mother, Nina Yokoshimoto. Nina has been a part of our family since the beginning. She came into our household along with the kids shortly after the kids were adopted. We brought her into our house to be a part of the family. The story unravels from here. As I share a story that our family grew leaps and bounds after Grace became pregnant shortly after the adoption, we welcomed Melissa into our family as my wife was pregnant and gave birth to our baby girl. She was the firstborn. And then shortly after that, Josiah came along. As we had 4 children in our household, our family grew very fast. It didn't take long after that we had another baby boy who's now 2.5 months old, and his name is Michael. Now, I could tell you all the stories about how to run a household, but let me tell you, having 5 children within 5 years is a lot. And everybody started laughing. To say splitting hairs is understatement. My wife has had a lot of split ends. So she goes to get pampered a lot once in a while when she has the time. So between anniversaries and birthday parties and all the events that we've taken place, we usually do family projects when we can, but we mostly sleep a lot. And we try to get the kids into a regular routine of going to bed at night and praying. Between more murals of their mother to remember by in the celebration of life, to remember Zio, their mother who passed away, is the reason why the kids were put up for adoption. It was an open adoption agreement between the grandmother, who was too old to take care of her grandchildren. In that agreement, we decided to adopt the grandmother into our home, and that is how we became a family, the Smithton family. Now, in that adoption, we gave them the option to take on the Smithton name. They could stay with the Yokoshoto family name too. If they ever decide to change their name, it is totally up to them at 16. But right now, their last name they go by is Smithton. Jenny and both Elijah are Smithtons. But if they ever again change their mind, they can. So, with that being said, our family is big. We go to barbecues with Grandma and Grandpa, my parents, and Miss Yokoshoto, who has a Japanese tea house that we made for her so she can spend time with her hobbies as well. Now, there are things that we've done for our grandmother and grandpa, said the kids oftentimes, but really, we cannot repay our grandparents, said the kids oftentimes. It's hard to repay all the hard work that's been done. Between running a company and business and shuffling between business and spreading ourselves so thin, we have to give time to all the kids. So I work sometimes remotely from home, but mostly I'm at work. Between work and home, I try to juggle a lot. But I do take time off to be with my family. And Grace is here to attest to that. And I'm going to let Grace take the mic from here and talk about the pro-life message about adoption. And she can share her thoughts on the message that we're sharing about adoption. And I'm going to welcome my wife, Grace Smithton. Hi, my name is Grace Smithton. Thank you for being here and listening to our story. Why is it important that adoption be the message? Because adoption is the option. Could we have easily given up? Many times people do give up. They think that there's no hope. They can't turn back the clock once they're pregnant. It's a lot easier when you have, quote, money, but I didn't come from money. I came from a life of abuse before I met Michael. I didn't have options. In fact, my abuse issues stem from my ex-husband, who abused me feverishly. So before I met Michael, I survived abuse, severe trauma. I escaped abuse and divorced him and came into a better situation and escaped it and divorced and lived in my own home and moved to Missouri. I started over. I had a chance at a second life in Missouri, and I learned to live and adapt to a new life. How I met Michael that night was a complete miracle for me. As I was just recovering from wounds from domestic violence, Michael reached over at the gas pump and pumped gas in my car and paid for my gas, as he obviously seen injuries on my face and body. He took compassion towards me, and he reached out to me and helped me that night. That began our new found relationship and friendship. Upon getting to know him over that short period of time, I was finally divorced, and I got to know Michael shortly after that. And then we went on a date, and before you know it, we went on another date, and then another date. And before you know it, we were inseparable. We were going to church together, and before you know it, we were engaged. We got married on February 14th of 2000. And that relationship began to blossom. I'm so grateful for the relationship I have with Michael. Michael has changed my life, and I have the fortune of sharing this story today. As you know about the adoption that Michael shared, the adoption was the only option we had at the time because I didn't know for sure if I wanted to have children or what the plan was for us. But I knew that eventually, if we did have children, that however it was going to happen, it would have to be in God's hands. So we ended up exploring the option of adoption. We were on a waiting list, and we were fortunate to find 2 children that were in an open adoption agreement because of their grandmother being in a senior living situation. Her children were in foster care. Her grandchildren, that is. So we were very fortunate to meet these 2 children that were in foster care. And we got to meet Elijah Yogashodo and Jenny Yogashodo, whose mother died in a car accident, Zaya Yogashodo. So that's how the story goes. And that's how we met them. We went on our first family visit, and it went successfully. And before you know it, they were going to see us again at another family visit at the Family Resource Center. And Miss Jackson was kind enough to help us along the process. And then our overnight visit went successfully. Before you knew it, the judge concluded that we were the right fit for the family and that they would be in the best interest of the children, that they would come to live with us. And that was such a great, awesome day. Soon after that, they moved into our house, and it's been nothing but one memory after another. Joy filled our house as we grew up with these children and learned so much about science, astronomy, kids, life, experiences, eating sushi, Japanese, everything. Amazing experiences. I can't count how many experiences, but so many. Too many to count. But wonderful memories nonetheless. One of the most beautiful memories is the murals that were painted in memory of their mother. Murals of their mother that are hanging in their bedrooms today. Murals that are hanging in the Japanese tea house that we built for Grandma Yogashodo. So to see the oasis and everything that has been created in memory of Zaya Yogashodo, she's become a part of our family, even though she's not with us today. We've tried to create an environment so that the kids will always keep her in their hearts. Jenny is an accomplished dancer, and so also Elijah is an accomplished baseball player. Elijah made it to the All-Stars this year, and Jenny has made so many accomplishments in dancing that she's made it in one of the world-class dancing performances. She's been accepted into a dancing performance school already. Just recently has been awarded and has trophies and also ribbons to prove it. They're accomplished children, and we're so proud of their accomplishments. But what makes it even better is that they're still children. They're still learning and growing. Their favorite topics and their favorite teachers are endless. They could go on and on. But one of their favorite things to do is family radio, Planet Radio, something we do as a family. You could ask Elijah about family radio, our Planet Radio station that we do, how it went viral on TikTok, and how excited they get when they do this little family project that we do on Saturday nights when we have the chance to do it. There's so many stories I could share with you about adoption, how many memories we've built and created with the kids. I can't forget my own children, how they've learned so much from the older kids. how quick they're learning from Elijah and Jenny. Elijah and Jenny are so smart that I think that the little ones are learning faster now. They're picking up things so much quicker because of Elijah and Jenny. That's what makes it so fascinating to see these kids evolve so fast because of Elijah and Jenny's education level. Because of their education level, they skipped a grade and they moved up from third grade to fourth grade and from first grade to second grade quicker. They didn't have any AP classes, so they were bumped up to those grades. It's amazing what St. John's has been, the school that they go to, the Christian school they attend. They've been nothing but encouraging to the kids. Everybody that's worked closely with the kids, especially the Family Resource Center and Miss Jackson, have been helpful. I hope this benefits you as much as it's benefited us, but I want you to see firsthand the pro-life issue about raising children goes beyond money. As much as it takes money, it takes really willpower and strength and time to really nourish children into the adults that they're becoming. Do I see a future for both all these children? Each child is different. They're both in each way going to become somebody as they evolve. I don't know what the younger children are going to venture into, but I can tell you I see a future in baseball for Elijah. I don't know what capacity, but I believe he could be a Major League Baseball player at the rate he's playing. I see Jenny is going to be accepted into a performing arts school already. She's going to be changing courses in her life. I think that she's going to be accepted into an accelerated course that she could easily become a performing arts student very soon. It's already happening, is what I'm saying. They are accelerating quickly, and that's what I love to see. The future is so bright and it's so exciting. I've taken this time to tell you that the kids are accelerating. But what makes it so important to me as a member of this family and the mother of these children, as I watch grandmother watch, she's so eager to see them learn and grow. Having Grandma Yokoshoda here with us and still around is such a pleasure. She gets so excited at their accomplishments. She's supportive, she's loving, she's caring. She's so much of a part of our home and family. She's an important asset to the kids as she teaches them and wonders about the amazing things that they're accomplishing as well. Without Grandma Yokoshoda, it would be an empty place. My own in-laws and Michael's parents have been nothing but supportive and encouraging to the kids. It's so helpful, especially with younger children, as I'm raising an infant right now, just newly born. It's so hard sometimes when you have to juggle all this, but it's so much easier with the support of neighbors like my neighbor across the street and those who have supported me at my job to help me get through sometimes the rough patches. But I have had so much support from my nannies and my babysitters that it's been a lot easier to get through it. I've had so much support, is what I'm saying. So I emphasize support is necessary to get through it when you have a big family. It helps a lot, is what I'm saying. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I hope it helps benefit you as it's about pro-life, adoption, and family and godly values. That be our core values. Thank you again. Everybody stands up and claps and thanks her for a job well done. Michael comes up and hugs her, and Miss Jackson says a few words. Thank you so much for this speech. It was such a well done speech. Miss Jackson, can't thank you enough, and I appreciate her speech so much. Grace, thank you. Thank you so much. That was a job well done. Thank you. Grace says, you're welcome.